All right, so let's check out this rototiller I picked up on Marketplace. It was in real good shape, Craftsman, hadn't really been used much. You can see the tines are almost new. The problem we had, once we picked it up, is that the motor had some issues. Let's look at that real quick. I pulled the motor off that one, obviously, already. Don't mind the mess. But anyways, here's what we got. This guy here, carburetor's intact. The springs are all cattywampus over here. And you can see the whole air cleaner that belongs up here is gone. And when I started looking at buying the air cleaner and getting all the springs redone, the time it was going to take to get all that, the $140 Predator engine from Harbor Freight looked like a real good option to get up and running. It's almost springtime and we got a lot of gardens to build. So this is the one I got, 212cc. It was a 208 that was on there. This thing should bolt right up. We'll kind of see what happens. I'm cautiously optimistic. So let's take a look. Grab something. Cut this tape here. When in doubt, wrench will work. Let's see what we got in here. Brand new unboxing of this Predator motor. Everybody online says they're pretty great. They're basically a Honda, one of the Chinese clones of the Hondas. Half the money, like I said, I think it was $149. So we got some tools in here. Oh yeah, we got a spark plug tool. Put that over there. Styrofoam, lots of plastic. Smells like China. All right, well, looks a lot like the motor over there on the bench. These things are not very heavy. Pretty easy. So our first thing that I see that could be a problem is going to be right here on the drive shaft or on the shaft. So it's got the keyway already in it, you can see. Let's take a look. We'll take that out. We don't need that. Let's take a look at the pulley that I already have that came off the other one. It's over here. Boy, it looks pretty good. I think we might be able to get away with that. So, this guy goes on there, just like that. Let's see, is it gonna go? Hot dog. Look at them apples, won't you? So the only other thing I'm wondering, what our spacing's gonna be here. If we look at our spacing there, go ahead and take this off of here. Let's go look at the spacing on the other motor. Just to see if we're close. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. Gonna probably have to get myself a spacer to go on there. See, we've got a little more gap. Not too big of a deal. That's what we're looking at. Guy just goes on there like that, but you can see we got a little better motor deal there, and that's actually part of the shaft. So suppose we're gonna have to run to the store and get ourselves a spacer. Oh, it's about a 3/4 inch or so off of that shaft there. One more look over here. All in all, I don't think that's gonna be too bad of a deal. It's nice and easy to get. If I go to Tractor Supply. So there's also a piece that's gonna go on here. This guy over here. We'll grab all our hardware. This is just a bracket for the guard that goes on right along here. But this guy is gonna bolt right up. So let's see if those mounting holes are the same. Ah, look at that. Same lineup and everything. Perfect. So that's gonna work. So we're gonna have this guy again on here. Sorry for the video. I don't have another person to help me today. I was gonna go like that, and then we got our bolt that's gonna hold it on. So we're actually gonna need 2 shims, because we're gonna have a shim to pull that guy out just about there. And then we'll need another shim on the outside here. That way our mounting bolt will mount up, hold everything nice and snug. So for now, we can take that back off. We'll put our key over here. And I guess we'll see how our alignment works over here. You can see they give you a bit of a key slot on the one side. We got the same thing over here, key slot there. There's your oil drain. Now on the old motor, let's take another walk back over there real quick. You can see the way that motor is gonna sit, just like this. It's gonna sit like that, right on top of there. You can see your oil, when you go to change that, it's gonna leak out all over the tiller frame. So we'll look over here. This one here, this was an MTD motor. I'll show you there, that's the MTD motor, but you can see it's got this nice little spout, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna thread right on that motor for us. So that should be a good deal. Again, this motor is fine. I'm gonna hang on to it, and at some point I'll find a donor for our pieces up here, and that'll be a good little motor. I think my son would love a go-kart here one of these days, so I think that'll work good on there. So our next thing, we're gonna take this guy, lift it up, set it on here, see where our mountain holes are. So we can look in there. Obviously that one is pretty close. Oh, look at that. The next one, that's gonna fit in there nice. Yeah, that's gonna work out good. So the only other thing is the other motor had threads in the bottom of the block. And this new motor obviously just has a smooth hole. But we can see what we got here. Oh yeah, quick start guide. Turn it on, pull the string. Shouldn't be too hard. Anyways, we got this guy's gonna come underneath. It's gotta go up into the bottom. We might have to get ourselves a few new bolts, 4 new bolts, but we'll see. I don't know. Well, that's awful close. I don't know. You might end up having to get new holes in the bottom of the frame of the tiller too. Not a big deal. But one more thing. All right, well, anyways, you can see what that motor is gonna look like on there. Looks pretty much like the other engine that came off it. Again, the motor itself is a clone of those Honda, Briggs, MTD, all those guys. I think it's a 6.5 horse motor on sale for $149, so it's not too bad. All right, well, I will be back once I get the rest of the parts for this thing, and we'll get her put together. All right, guys, so got back from the store. I went ahead on the bench and filled the oil on this new motor. They come empty with oil. I had some 10W30 full synthetic, which is kind of what I wanted to run anyways. The homeowner before we moved in here left it, so thank you. I'll have to buy him a beer next time I see him. And it was just a little bit easier. Really, the only thing on this motor that's a little more difficult than the other motor is checking the oil. It's got a 2 fill ports. Basically, this one here is just a fill plug. This one here is a fill plug, and it does have the dipstick on it. So as far as checking the oil, it's a little bit more difficult. You can see the old motor over here. Oh, yeah, you can also see here, I was going to pull this off and the thing didn't even give me a chance. It just broke right off. So we'll tap that out and put a new one on later on. But you can see on this motor, we had an oil dipstick that actually goes down into the crankcase here. A little bit easier to check, but not a big deal. I don't anticipate having to go through a whole lot of oil on this thing. So you can see the motor on there, looks pretty good. Really, you wouldn't even know the difference until you get close and it says Predator on it. But the function of everything else is right there. I went ahead and put this bracket onto the side of the motor. That's the one I was showing earlier. And I wasn't able to find the bushings that I was looking for. I did find a 1-inch bushing here. But I need 3/8, about 3/8 of an inch on the inside here. And then we're gonna need another 5/8 or so out here in order to be able to put our new nut in, which when I went to the hardware store, I had to get a new one. I realized the one that I had, it's this one here. Nope. This one right here didn't have the same thread pitch, but luckily our manual told us it was going to be a 5/16 by 24. So I have a 5/16 by 24. Look at that, threads right in perfect. The manual knew what it was talking about. I got myself a 5/16 washer there. I also got one bigger washer because we're gonna have to go with these guys. Just machinery bushings are gonna work just fine. All we needed were shims. So we'll go ahead and open these guys up. Sorry, horrible video, I need helpers. So we go ahead and put these 3/4 shims on here, just like this. We're looking for about 3/8 of an inch. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once we get on there, what we're gonna do is put our pulley on. Again, really sorry about this video. So, the inside of our pulley is gonna go on here. The other side of our pulley with the keyway, right there, the keyway, is gonna go on here, just like that. All we're looking for is for everything to line up once it goes on there. So we'll pull that outer one back off. We're gonna put our belt on. We're gonna put our pulley back, other half of our pulley back on here. We'll take a look at what we got. So, make sure our belt is in where it belongs. You can see it goes on the inside of those grooves. Put our outer piece on. And all we're gonna do is look down this belt. We're looking for that belt to be nice and lined up. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's looking pretty darn nice. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so then you can see we still have a little bit right here that has to get shimmed up. So I got a couple options. One, I've got this guy, but it's 1 inch long. You can see it's gonna be way too long on there. So what we're gonna do, pull out this other package I bought too of bushings, and we'll just start stacking those guys up. There's 2, there's 4, 6. You can see what's got to happen here. We have to get to the outside of that spline. See, there's just a little bit left. So we're gonna go with 7 of them. 7's gonna get us right on the money. Boom, just like that. Right? Just like that. And that last one we'll have to put on in just a minute. So then we got this guy, right? That bolt I was showing you, it's got the washer on there. Well, here's the problem. The washer, as you can see, will go straight through the bottom of that. So for right now, and this isn't perfect, I will get a better one, but we can go ahead and put the small washer on there. One-handed. All right. there's that one. And then you can see I got another one sitting right there. And that one right there is the size we need to fit, as you can see, over top of this, and that's gonna hold that all together. So we'll go ahead and put that one on there. We'll put this one on here. This is gonna go just like this. Okay. And then we're gonna get our bolt in here. We'll get all these lined up once we get it started in. So it's just gonna screw right on there. It's not fancy. It's gonna work exactly how we need it to though. Just like that, we'll get those lined up. This is all part of getting a generic motor. Wasn't necessarily purpose built for this application, but it's pretty darn close. And then we're just gonna go ahead and get our wrench on here, snug that up a little bit. Oh, motor just turned over. And that's what we got there. There's still just a little bit of play. Honestly, the bolt I got might have been just a little bit long, but once we tighten that up, it's gonna be all good. So I'll be right back with you. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up, show you what it looks like. So, snugged up. I forgot to show y'all. I just put a pair of vice grips on here. Because that's keyed on, I was able to hold it just fine, snugged everything up. You can see there's no play now in those bushings, or those spacers. We're good to go. Everything looks nice and lined up, nice and straight. Don't see any issues there whatsoever. They ship these motors dry, so, oh, look at that. It's got a little keeper on it. Look at that, fancy. It's got a strainer down in there. It's got a little fuel level indicator that's gonna float up on us. Grab some fuel here, if I have any left. All right, I'm gonna go grab my other fuel and I'll be right back. All right, well, nothing magical. We got fuel in there. It's topped off. Go ahead and put that back on. So this engine's pretty straightforward, it's like any of our 4 cycles. We're gonna, down here, have fuel on and off. We've got our choke. It shows you everything there. And our throttle. So our throttle's all the way back. We're gonna turn our fuel on. So there we go, fuel getting into the carburetor. We're gonna go ahead and choke it. So right now, that's open choke, you can see here, and then start. So start's gonna be a closed choke. Over here, we have our on and off. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. We're gonna go ahead and turn that on. See how many pulls it takes. Brand new, out of the box, you saw me open it. So we're gonna go ahead and give her a couple pulls. 2 pulls out of the box. 2 pulls. I'll go ahead and pull the choke down. Listen to that thing go. Unbelievable. Listen to that thing go. I'm amazed. That's all there is to it. Look at the other side. No crazy vibration. That motor running. You see that crank spinning. It's up. There's a belt right there. Not spinning because we don't have it engaged. This machine here, we engage it right here. Look at that go. A little bit of pressure. Boom. That's all it is. It's in neutral right now. So you can see that belt's looking real nice. Nothing too crazy. That's what I'm looking for. I love it. Go ahead and give it a little fuel, see how it sounds. No vibration good. That's a Craftsman rear tine tiller. I got it on Marketplace. Instead of fixing the motors on it, I went ahead and put this motor on there. Looks good. I might loosen up that belt just